This is the AB4WS radio show. Every week, bringing you the exciting amateur radio news and information happening in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana areas.
The AB4WS radio show can be found on the Apple Podcast app or your favorite podcast application. I hope you've enjoyed some of the VHF and UHF band openings this past weekend. Propagation maps have been very colorful. With the weather characteristics, the 2 meter and 70 centimeter bands have been open in the morning and late evening. One morning I heard a QSO on 146.520, in which I was only hearing one side of the conversation, but the operator I was hearing identified that he was in Boone, North Carolina. I could not hear the station he was talking to. On another morning, and again the next evening, I was listening to Jeff, K4JTA, part of the Triple Nickel Simplex group, working 146.52 Simplex, working stations in Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and making lots of contacts. Jeff was using a Yaesu FT8800 with 50 watts into a 333 vertical antenna. Unfortunately, I could not hear the stations he was working, but was hearing Jeff full scale. Jeff has a great location in Henry County, Kentucky, and sits at about 900 feet in elevation with a nice tower. I was hearing repeaters all over. On another night, I heard Jeff getting into the 145.370 repeater, talking with Bill, K8LAY, and Rick, KA8RTG. So if you get up in the morning or late evening, turn on the VHF or UHF radio, turn that squelch down, and search for those simplex or repeaters that you might hear with these great band openings. A group from the Okayan Amateur Radio Society participated in the ARRL sweepstakes this past weekend. The station was working great, especially with the beam and 40-meter add-on. But coming to Sunday morning, they still had 13 sections to find and work. They worked hard to find and work all those difficult ones, but when the sweeps ended, they were still short 5 sections. However, the most important part was that they had lots of fun playing radio. Congratulations! As part of the 2025 Severe Weather Awareness Campaign, the Ohio Committee for Severe Weather Awareness, in cooperation with the National Weather Service, the Ohio Emergency and Management Agency, are announcing the annual Severe Weather Awareness Poster Contest is open for submissions. The contest is open to all Ohio students in kindergarten through 8th grade, including individualized instruction, special education, public, private, and homeschool classes. Poster contest encourages students to learn about severe weather safety and preparedness. Through their illustrations of Ohio severe weather events, tornadoes, thunderstorms, flooding, etc., students can demonstrate what actions they can take before, during, and after a severe weather events to protect themselves and others. Ohio grade schools will soon receive additional information about the contest. All poster entries must be postmarked or emailed by January 10, 2025. For more information can be found on the weathersafety.ohio.gov website. Usually on Thursday nights at 7 p.m., the Kentucky D-Star Net is held on D-Star reflector REF 056 Bravo. But the month of November, the nets on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. will be held on the XLX 721 multi-mode reflector to give those that do not have D-Star a chance to check in, show off the interoperability of this multi-mode reflector and its usefulness in the event of an emergency event, disaster, or significant event in the Commonwealth. To connect to XLX 721 on D-Star, use the command DCS721A to connect. On Fusion, use your Fusion hotspot and connect to YSF 51149. And for DMR, use talk group 3121232 on Brandmeister. All of these different digital voice modes will be heard by everyone on the reflector in their own native mode on the radio. Also, the KY4RW-L link will be available during the net to connect over Echolink. And remember, this runs all the time, so you can use it on any of these modes even when the net is not on. So connect up to XLX 721 multi-mode reflector and check it out. The next Youth on the Air Camp for the Americas has been scheduled for June 15th through the 20th, 2025 in Denver area of Thornton, Colorado. The camper application period will open up on December 1st, 2024 at youthontheair.org. Eligible youth are licensed ham radio operators between the age of 15 and 25. Up to 50 campers will be accepted and priority will be given for first-time attendees. For more information about the event, go to youthontheair.org/Denver 2025 or contact Camp Director Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, at director@youthontheair.org. Are you interested in emergency communications? Well, I encourage you to attend the Amateur Radio Emergency Team of Northern Kentucky meeting on November 25th at 7 p.m. at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky, where the emergency team's training team will give a great presentation that will start at the beginning of emergency communications and basically go over what ARES is, what emergency management is, and what their main objectives are, how this fits into the Amateur Radio Emergency Team of Northern Kentucky, and what duties members can expect if the KY6ET team is activated. With the recent major hurricanes hitting southeastern United States and the devastation it caused knocking out electric and communications, we have seen the importance of trained and organized amateur radio teams and how they can help the entire community. It also illustrates the importance for you to get involved to share your amateur radio skills in times of need. So come on out to the meeting and see if this is something you might be interested in. On December 7th, from noon to 2 p.m., is the Lake Cumberland Amateur Radio Association Christmas Dinner at 45 Crabapple Lane. Rumor has it that Santa will be there to talk to the children. On December 12th at 6:30 p.m., the Queen City Emergency Net will hold their annual holiday party at the Red Cross Building, 2111 Dayton Avenue in Cincinnati, Ohio. There'll be an email going out for you to RSVP and sign up to contribute food for the event. The Queen City Emergency Net will be participating in the ARRL 10-meter contest on Saturday, December 14th at the club radio station W8VVL at 2111 Dayton Avenue in Cincinnati, Ohio. For more information on the 10-meter contest, go to ARRL.org/10-meter. December 16th is the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club Christmas Dinner at 7 p.m. at the Golden Corral on Houston Road in Florence, Kentucky.
Repeater news.
Are you looking for the most up-to-date list of repeaters in the greater Cincinnati area? Well, I've compiled and tried to keep up-to-date an Excel spreadsheet of repeaters in the greater Cincinnati area. Tabs separate the bands, modes, and you can easily look up just for DMR repeaters or 2-meter analog repeaters and so on. The list includes 2 meters, 220, 440, 6 meters, D-Star, DMR, C4FM, P25, and some other classifications as well. Every time I update the file, I include the date in the file name so you know you have the latest update. To download the file, go to the AB4WS Radio Show Facebook page and go to the file section and download the most recent file. Any errors, problems, additions, or corrections, email me at ab4ws.radio@gmail.com. The Kentucky Colonel's Amateur Radio Club KY4BG repeater on 147.33 has been repaired thanks to Ben, W4WSN, Ned, KG4FEJ, and Tim, KJ4ARE. The Greater Mason County Amateur Radio Association had All Tech Engineering come and install new feed line and a repeater antenna for the Maysville, Kentucky repeater on the 145.470 on the water tower next to the YMCA. The repeater antenna had been struck by lightning about 4 years ago, and the club has been working ever since to raise funds to replace the damaged hardline and antenna since then. When club member Barry Jackson, WB4N, became a silent key, his estate had donated all his equipment to the club, who has slowly sold it to raise funds for this huge expense. Also thanks to the Gateway Amateur Radio Club, who donated 300 feet of 7/8-inch hardline for the project. They're expecting some great improvements in the coverage. Check it out. And the Mason County Amateur Radio Club thanks everyone who made this project a big success.
Hamfest.
December 7th is the Fulton County Winterfest 2024 at the Ruley Park Pavilion in Archbold, Ohio from 9 a.m. to noon. Talk in on the 147.195 repeater. For more information, go to k8bxq.org. On Sunday, January 19, 2025, is the Sunday Creek Amateur Radio Federation Hamfest at the Shade Community Center, 2380 Old US 33 in Shade, Ohio. For more information, email Jeremy, KCAQDQ at JERAMY_DUNCAN@yahoo.com.
Are you looking to upgrade your license? Do you have someone else that's interested in the hobby? Here are some upcoming exam opportunities.
The Milford Amateur Radio Club holds amateur radio testing on the third Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. at the Miami Township Civic Center, 6101 Meyer Drive in Milford, Ohio. Please pre-register at milfordhamradio.org. The Dayton Amateur Radio Association has exams frequently. For their exam schedule, email exams.w8bi@gmail.com. On December 4th at 6 p.m., the Dial Radio Club will be offering amateur radio exam session at 2806 Manchester Road in Middletown, Ohio. To register, go to hamstudy.org/sessions/DIAL. On December 7th at 10 a.m., the amateur radio exam session will be held at the Georgetown Police Department, 550 Bourbon Street in Georgetown, Kentucky. You must register at hamstudy.org/session/WX4GPS. On December 7th at 10 a.m., the Silver Creek Amateur Radio Association will hold an amateur radio testing session at the Sharon Center United Methodist Church, 6407 Ridge Road in Wadsworth, Ohio. For more information, contact Daniel Kinford at 216-702-8384. On December 14th at 10 a.m., the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will host an amateur radio exam session at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/session/WC8VOA. Special thanks to this week's content contributors: KN4COE, KY4GW, WB8YYS, KD8ZLD, K9HIO, N8LAR, K4NKU.
If you have something you think other amateur radio operators in the area would be interested in, send the information or your recorded audio file attached in an email to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Covering your amateur radio news and information in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana tri-state area. This is Jack Prindle, AB4WS in Big Bone, Kentucky.